Hello everybody, this is Mark Hutten, and I want to introduce you to the Parenting Children and Teens with High Functioning Autism Comprehensive Handbook, which is a downloadable ebook designed to help you, the parent, understand every aspect of high functioning autism, or HFA, and to effectively parent a child with this disorder. This ebook is the definitive source for anyone affected by HFA, which is also referred to as ASD Level 1. It brings together a wealth of information on all aspects of the disorder for children through to young adults. Although they may vary slightly from person to person, children with HFA tend to have similar symptoms, the main ones being a need to know when everything is happening in order not to feel completely overwhelmed, a rigid insistence on routine where any change can cause an emotional and physiological meltdown, difficulties with social functioning, particularly in the rough and tumble of the school environment, obsessive interest with a focus on one subject to the exclusion of all others, sensory issues where they are oversensitive to bright light, loud sounds, and unpleasant smells, and social isolation and struggling to make friends due to a lack of empathy and an inability to pick up on or understand social graces and cues, for example, such as stopping talking and allowing others to speak. Parents, teachers, and the general public have a lot of misconceptions of HFA. Many myths abound, and the lack of knowledge is both disturbing and harmful to kids and teens who struggle with the disorder. Here are just a few examples. Misconception number 1. HFA children are often regarded by parents and teachers as a problem child or a poor performer. The child's low tolerance for what he perceives to be boring and mundane tasks, for example, typical homework assignments, can easily become frustrating for the youngster, resulting in his refusal to complete certain tasks. Consequently, adults may well consider the HFA child to be arrogant, spiteful, and insubordinate. This misconception often results in a power struggle between the child and the adult, and in combination with the youngster's anxieties, can result in problematic behaviors. For example, severe tantrums, violent and angry outbursts, and meltdowns. Misconception number 2. Two traits often found in kids with HFA are mind blindness, which is the inability to predict the beliefs and intentions of others, and alexithymia, which is the inability to identify and interpret emotional signals in others. These two traits reduce the youngster's ability to empathize with peers. As a result, he or she may be perceived by adults and other children as selfish, insensitive, and uncaring. Misconception number 3. An issue related to alexithymia involves the inability to identify and control strong emotions, for example, sadness and anger. This leaves the youngster prone to sudden emotional outbursts, like crying and rage. The inability to express feelings using words may also predispose the HFA youngster to use physical acts, sometimes violent in nature, to articulate his mood and release emotional energy. All of these traits may give adults the impression that the youngster is simply defiant and rebellious. Misconception number 4. HFA kids often report a feeling of being unwillingly detached from their environment. They often have difficulty making friends due to poor social skills. The complexity and inconsistency of the social world can pose an extreme challenge for these special needs children. Accordingly, feeling incapable of winning and keeping friends, they prefer to engage in solitary activities. As a result, adults and peers often view the HFA youngster as self-absorbed and narcissistic, another unfair label. Misconception number 5. Young people with HFA may be overly literal and may have difficulty interpreting and responding to sarcasm, banter, or metaphorical speech. Difficulties with social interaction may also be manifest in a lack of play with peers. These problems can be severe or mild depending on the youngster. Due to their idiosyncratic behavior, precise language, unusual interests, and impaired ability to perceive and respond in socially expected ways to nonverbal cues, particularly in interpersonal conflict, HFA children are often the target of bullying and branded as odd, both by peers and by adults who don't understand the neurological deficit involved. The Parenting Children and Teens with High Functioning Autism ebook will help parents to fully understand their child's disorder, bringing facts to light while removing the myths and misconceptions. Does your child's behavior confuse and frustrate you? Have you often wondered how his mind works? Are you frequently stressed out due to your child's meltdowns and tantrums? Do you feel that you have wasted a lot of time and energy trying to get him to change? If so, then this ebook may very well be your best purchase of the year. In addition to the ebook, I've included audio portions of my seminars on parenting children on the high-functioning end of the autism spectrum. Also, you will have access to me as your personal parent coach. Please feel free to contact me via email as often as needed while you begin to implement your new parenting approach with your child on the autism spectrum. And you can get started in just 5 minutes from now.